Hello viewers, welcome to Candid Conversations with Ganesh Kuppala on a special episode today because we have a privilege of meeting the Minister, Honorable Norbert Mao from Uganda here at Uganda House today. So I'm shaking a bit, Minister, because you're one of the biggest profiles on my show. So thank you so much, first of all, for giving this time to us. And on your visit to London, it's amazing to hear from Ugandan minister because most of my audience are British Asians and Indian origin, and also a lot of Africans are of my origins as well. So it's my privilege to sit with you and speak to you today. So to get started with the conversation, Norbert, so shall we quickly go through your role? I mean, I know you're a Minister for Justice and Constitutional Affairs. So what does that mean? Like, what do you do? What's your day-to-day look like?
In my case, it's really double jeopardy. I'm a lawyer and a politician. I studied law and graduated from Uganda. Then I went to Yale University for postgraduate studies. My current role is that of Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs. I oversee the justice, law, and order sector. The Ministry of Justice in Uganda is basically a service ministry. We verify and have to recommend for approval all the contracts. Doesn't matter what it is about. We also draft laws that go into Parliament. The Office of the Attorney General is within my ministry. And it gives legal advice to all government agencies. The Office of the Solicitor General is also within the ministry. We have got the Uganda Law Reform Commission, which can pick up any proposals for changing the law. It is under my ministry. The Directorate of Public Prosecutions is an allied institution. The Registration Services Bureau, which registers businesses and intellectual property like patents and copyright, is within my ministry. The Uganda Human Rights Commission is within my ministry. And all that, including the Electoral Commission, all those are part of the Ministry of Justice outfit. And that's because we are now mainstreaming plea bargaining. We give people the choice to plead guilty, particularly to minor offenses, so that they can be sentenced quickly. And if they have already spent a number of months or even years in detention awaiting trial, then they just go home. Another thing we have done is dealing with the convicts or those on remand who have mental health issues. In Uganda, it's the duty of the minister to ensure that they are taken away from the prisons and taken to health facilities. Out of over 400 who were in detention, we now only have 4 left. Only 10% of disputes actually end up in court. The majority are dealt with, as I would say, the African way. We like to talk generally as Africans. We like to settle disputes because we know we will always be neighbors. But now we are ensuring that before anything goes to trial, we give a chance to arbitration, conciliation, or mediation. And the courts have accepted that. And very many cases are now being settled through alternative dispute resolution. As a result, square miles and square miles of land that was not being used because of disputes and injunctions are now freed for development. People make mistakes. They think that if you are to belong to a country, then everybody should be the same, instead of in terms of culture, language, and even religious practices. As the Minister of Justice, I can say that we don't really want Uganda to be a melting pot where everybody is the same. I would rather our country become something like a salad bowl. You know, an onion shouldn't be a lettuce.
That's true.
And a tomato should not be a cabbage.
Yeah.
They can be in the same bowl, but they must maintain their unique characters.
Yeah. I just want to quickly ask you. So you also deal with the matters related to the constitutional affairs, which is much bigger in terms of because probably the decisions or the laws that you have built now will be future for the rest of the generations that are coming. So when you do this, what are the key things that you keep in mind thinking about the country for the next 100 years? Because the way countries and the kind of generations are moving, like we talk about Gen Z now and all this stuff. So how are you building the laws to cater those generations?
You may love a country, but the country must love you also.
True.
The Ugandans of Asian origin, they love Uganda. Yeah. No doubt about that. And until the disruption during Idi Amin, they never imagined that they would be kicked out virtually naked.
Yeah.
I remember as a child, whenever we would go to the shops, we preferred to go to the shops owned by the Indians because they loved children. You either get a soda, you get a biscuit, you get a sweet. So if your mother is taking you shopping, you pull them towards the Indian shops because you know there's something in addition to what you'll buy. Mm-hmm. So we went to school with them. Mm-hmm. We were shocked because I was in primary school in the 70s. We were shocked to wake up and find that our friends had been
to leave the country.
Expelled. Yeah. It was traumatic for them. But before that, we had not noticed that there was any difference between us and them.
So true.
We know our friends, so you go and they'll say, where is Joginda? You say, oh, Joginda is not here anymore. Mm. And you really realize that because of a bad decision, an economy can come tumbling down. So it is about what guarantees do we give to all citizens, because these were Ugandan citizens. Mm. Now, they must be entitled to all the citizenship rights. Number two, it should be a matter of the Constitution.
True.
They should be protected in the Constitution.
Yeah.
And then number three, they would have the role to be our ambassadors.
Yeah.
Even to India. It was lovely when Uganda hosted the Prime Minister Narendra Modi. And he came and spoke to the Uganda Parliament.
Yeah.
And thereafter he met the Indian community. And he told them, well, this is your home.
Yeah.
And remember, there is also another home.
Yeah.
But make sure you also reward this part of the world. And I think his message sank very, very, very deep.
Yeah.
And no foreign country understands the Uganda better than the UK. In fact, all the other diplomatic missions, they have to ask the UK how to understand Uganda. So whether the UK understands it or not, at any rate, they have to pretend that they understand it, because you don't expect a Norwegian to claim to understand Uganda more than the UK.
Makes sense.
So Uganda is a signatory to all the treaties regarding the safeguarding of our climate.
Yeah.
We have been very, very outspoken. Our president has addressed international conferences on that issue.
Yeah.
Definitely, we are making amends where we have made some mistakes.
That's top of your agenda as well, climate change. How do you see the India and Uganda trade relationships or the bilateral relationships in the next few years? How is it looking like? If you can close with that, that'll be nice.
The focus will mainly be on technology transfer.
Okay.
India is far ahead of any country in Africa in terms of electronics, in terms of machinery.
Yeah.
So India is a big source of equipment for our factories.
Right.
For those who want manufacturing. everybody in Uganda knows Tata lorries. As we went to school,
Yeah.
we all used to ride on the back of the Tata lorries. But also transferring skills. Ugandans are studying a lot in India.
That's true.
And also the field of medical equipment and pharmaceuticals.
Brilliant.
And we find it easier to cooperate with India because we share a similar history.
That's true.
So Uganda has a choice. In my culture, we say a dog goes where it is given some bones. So if there's some countries are throwing stones at Uganda, we shall avoid them. The countries that are throwing some juicy bones at us, that's where we shall go. It is our choice.
Yeah, that makes complete sense. Thank you so much, Mr. Mao, for your
Thank
time.
you.
You gave a lot of insights to us. Looking forward to great things happening for Uganda, India, and UK.
Thank you
so much.
Thank you.